Good morning, collective. I had a very specific message from Yeshua last night, and he wanted me to read it word for word. So here goes nothing. You have all the time in the world to decide what is important to you, but the world might have already moved on without you. The split from 3D to 5D is coming upon you. What shadows do you need to conquer? What message do you want to leave as a lasting impression on this world? You may not know of your greatness now, but it is being thrusted upon you. Have faith, my dear collective. You are so close to achieving your goals of ascension. During this time of Yule, take time to meditate, drink water, and reflect on what limited thinking is holding you back. You need not fear your inner voice. You need fear the consequences of not giving your voice the time and respect it deserves. This message is one of caution, not of guilt or lecture. Know who you are and make your downtime count. Have faith in yourself, collective, like I do. Your inner light is glowing. Stop hiding it under a bushel. He wanted to make a note that that's my sense of humor, not his. He thought that Bible jokes are too on the nose, but you all have the intelligence and the heart to pull off your ascension. You just need to find your bravery to overcome your own fears. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It is merely understanding that your mission is more important. I love you. So that was the message that I got from Yeshua. That last bit 100% reminds me of the Princess Diaries when she finds her dad's letter that he left for her and, said, I know this time is hard and it's scary coming up against this massive responsibility of what you need to do, but just because you're afraid doesn't mean that you can be brave too. And I do think that is really what Yeshua is getting at with this message. I think that conquering your own fears is one of the most challenging things because you have to admit that there are parts of yourself in your past that were more difficult than you probably realize, and coming up against that is no small feat. I would suggest searching shadow worksheets on Pinterest or just on the internet. I actually purchased a shadow workbook and I worked through that, and it did help me do a lot of my reflection, but a lot of mine was also just journaling. And so I think if you let your mind just free form, write down thoughts, I think that helps. One of the things that helped me a lot to get started in therapy was identifying your emotions. When you are in a situation, writing down what that emotion is and actually looking up like the therapy definitions of emotions and understanding what a lot of your reactions to things are, it will help you to start understanding what your triggers are and then getting curious about what those triggers are and understanding why you're doing those things. And then the next thing that, it was 444 in the timer, so I think I'm onto something. And then the next part of what my therapist was telling me was, once you understand what your emotions are trying to tell you, then understand what values that are very important to you are being violated in those situations. And if you can identify what those values are and why they're important to you and why certain situations are triggering those responses, it's kind of like the cheat codes to understanding what your shadows are and how you can work through them. It's very difficult work. It really, really is. But I would like to think that I am so much better off for understanding what all of those things I went through did to my psyche and how I internalized them and how I was reacting to and on other people with those triggered responses. And it's just something that you have to do for yourself, because no one is going to get that started for you. And if you really do want to improve yourself and your psyche and your well-being, I promise you it is so much better on this side of it. I've never been this happy in my whole life. Honestly, I feel 1,000,000 pounds lighter than I did before I started. Is it Prometheus that had like the weight of the world on his shoulders and every day he had to climb up the hill and then he'd start over again? That is how my life felt before I started working on all of this shadow work. And I was able to actually put the world down and say, that's not my job. And I was able to say, I am enough. I am worthy of things that make me happy. I am worthy of having peace. I am worthy of not living through dramatic time to dramatic time. And you are too, collective. You are. And I want you to know that I love you too. And you can do this.